All right, guys, we're very excited. We have Daniel Lichtman from Lightwater Capital. He's going to talk to us today. And Danny, why don't you tell us a little more about yourself and your company?
Sure. Nice to meet everybody. My name is Daniel Lichtman. I'm the Director of Acquisitions and Asset Management here at Lightwater Capital. Joined the firm in January 2022. We buy value-add multifamily properties primarily in Indiana and Georgia. We have about 2,200 units currently. We just sold two deals, so in total we acquired about 2,500 units since starting the firm in 2019. Prior to that, I was with a company called Aria Legacy Group, where we bought off-market multifamily properties, and I'll get into some of those interesting off-market opportunities at a later point. That was focused on Missouri and Louisiana, and before that, I managed a distressed debt fund for about 4.5 years that bought distressed debt such as notes, REOs, and tax liens, and that's really where I got my feet wet and interested in real estate.
Wow, that's great. Perfect timing right now with the current environment. Danny, why don't you tell us more about your methodology and how you do acquisitions?
Sure. So it actually changed quite a bit from my previous company to this company. My previous company was more focused on off-market opportunities. So I was my day-to-day was busy with reaching out to owners and maybe possibly lenders and different people that have access to the assets. I would comb through Reonomy on a daily basis, looking through different markets and looking for opportunities for deals that we were looking for, primarily 100 plus units. And I would reach out to owners. The first deal actually that I sourced completely off market was actually the site of the Michael Brown shooting in Ferguson, Missouri. It was a 414 unit deal called Canfield Green, right across the street from the property that we were touring off market as well. And I had reached out to the owner about a week or two before. His name was Randy, to see if he wanted to sell any of his assets, and he got back to me in a timely fashion and told me that he's not looking to sell. But once I saw this deal right across the street, I reached out to him again. I guess I didn't take no for an answer. I said, "Hey, Randy, we had an opportunity to tour this property right across the street. Would you be interested in selling your property, Canfield Green? Seems like a great opportunity for us." He said, "Well, I would sell it, but I don't think you're going to pay the price you're looking to pay." So I said, "What's the price you're looking to pay?" He said, "I'm looking for $9 million. $9 million. It was a 414 unit deal. So $9 million in 2021 means $21,000 a unit, which is well below anything in that market. Most things that in the St. Louis market were trading for at least $50,000 to $60,000 per unit. So right off the bat, we knew that we had a great price point. And I kind of kept at it. I set up a meeting with the principal of the company at the time, whose name was Joe. He went down to the property. He went down to meet with Randy, toured the property. He said, "Yes, we're interested." Had to twist his arm a few more times to send us information. The first time we got a printed out rent roll that was probably 45 pages thick that we had to upload and scan it in and kind of work with that. He finally gave us a T12, and it took about 4 or 5 months to get it closed, but thank God we got that one closed. So that was completely off market, and that's the way we operated at the previous company. My company now, Lightwater Capital, got into the business in 2019. Previously, they were managing, and they still manage, New York properties under a company called J. Wasser and Co. They manages New York assets. In 2019, when the rent laws changed, they realized that the best way to capitalize and monetize their business is to focus on out of state. They started off in the Atlanta market, picked up about 1,400 units there between 8 properties, sold the first 2 off. Everything was primarily through a broker. So it's a little bit different where we're dealing with brokers, some fully marketed, some off market, but through the broker. And that's really been the primary focus here at Lightwater Capital, is to focus on broker relationships, and really, looking at, many deals, because we feel that's a good way by working with brokers to really see a lot more deals than if you're just looking for that, unicorn and the needle in haystack with an off-market deal.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's really exciting. Can you tell us a little more about asset management? Is it something, it's not the sexy topic, but as an LP and investor, the deals that fail often fail. The first thing they're blaming is bad property manager. We have to get a new one. Can you educate our audience more about, how asset management is properly done?
Sure. So we actually use third-party management in all our deals, but we asset manage. But what I mean by that is that we're going to look at the financials on a monthly basis. We'll go through all the numbers and compare our numbers from this month to last month, and based on our projections, based on our original underwriting, and we'll point out anything that needs to be either reclassified, or if there's an issue of something. For example, at one point we had issues with our payroll being too expensive because they had temps, and we made sure to step in to hone in on the importance of hiring hiring staff that's going to be there full time versus hiring temp staff. That's one example. Another thing is implementing certain systems. We just implemented a company called Jetty, which is a similar to Rhino and LeaseLock. It's a software that it allows our residents to have a free security deposit, like a free move-in, instead of having a $500 or $1,000, for example, upfront security deposit cost. It allows them to pay a monthly fee, and that was something that, as an asset manager, as being on top of asset management, considering the best strategies and systems to allow our residents to move in with a low cost, that's something that we focus on as well. And then there's always being on top of collections, being on top of some day-to-day operations. So asset management is I would say a higher level management where you're not necessarily boots on the ground on a day-to-day basis, but you're in contact with the regional or the local managers or with the management company to make sure that they're operating and bringing in as much income as possible, and obviously bringing down your expenses as much as possible.
Can you touch on the aspect of just the selection of the property manager? How do you vet which one's a good one? How do you guys do it?
Sure. So just to give you an example, when we were entering Indiana, we entered Indianapolis June of 2022. We were under contract early, I would say, end of first quarter of 2022, and we started hiring once we knew that we were going ahead and we were getting awarded the portfolio, a 628 unit portfolio. We started interviewing many different management companies, small mom and pops, people that were, larger companies that have maybe, 15, 20,000 units across 7-8 states. In the end, we picked a management company that our broker, the listing broker, actually recommended. And what we liked about them was the fact, and we're thrilled with them, they're doing a great job, is that they're based locally in Indianapolis, but they weren't a small mom and pop that had maybe 1 or 2 properties. They're already managing 10, 15 properties. They had about 3,000 units already under management. And we felt that adding another 3 properties of 628 units would obviously be a transition where we felt there would be something feasible. So what we look for in a management company is a management company that already has a presence. They're local, but not too large. We don't look for something that's excuse me. We don't look for something that's a nationwide or a large regional management company that has, in 10 different states, and you'll get your local rep. We like to be in touch with the management company that has boots on the ground. They're local, but still a presence and still large enough that will help us, will grow with us as we grow. So that's important for us.
Oh, that's wonderful. Hey, Dan, you've dropped so much good, useful information, but we'll go to the standard question that we talked about before the interview. What are some of the books that you're reading that you think everybody in the space should be knowledgeable about?
Sure. So I have 2 book recommendations. One is not necessarily about real estate, but it's just a general book that I believe everybody should read. And the other one is actually about broker relationships. The one that's not real estate related is called Shoe Dog, which is all about about how Nike got started and the whole business aspect. And I just like the fact that it's just a great book to show perseverance, to really show how you just have to keep going and keep pushing and keep moving, and how he started small and he didn't let, minor hiccups get in the way. And I think that's true in our day-to-day businesses as well, thinking for the long term of keep going, keep moving, always be closing, always be networking, always be, working on your next deal or next opportunity. The other book that I like is actually by a real estate broker based in North Florida named Bo Berry. It's called Multifamily Investors Who Dominate. And if anybody didn't read it, I think it's a phenomenal book. I read it once. I'm going to read it twice, which is uncharacteristic of me, but it's just a great, great book. The fact that I actually finished it is also uncharacteristic. I've been so busy lately. But it's an excellent book about how to treat your broker relationships, how to humanize it. We're realizing that the broker wants to hear a response from you. If he sends a deal and it's not for you, just get back to him in the next 24 to 48 hours. Say, thanks for thinking of me. I'm going to pass on this. Or if you're working on a deal, how to really work on your relationships. And I think it's just a great thing, whether you deal with brokers or just in general day-to-day business, how to really treat, whether it's your other employees, your management company, your contacts. And I think one of the things that separates us from, Lightwater Capital from some of the other groups is that we're very quick in responding. We always try to respond in a timely fashion. Our brokers know that they can sometimes see a response in a 10 to 15 minute time frame.
Wow.
If it's something that needs that type of response versus maybe some other groups that take a lot longer and lag their and kind of drag their feet. And that's really where, thank God, we found success is really to be in touch with our brokers, getting back to them in a timely fashion. It's not always gonna be 10 to 15 minutes, so I try to do it quick. But
You're always pretty quick with me, at least. So.
we try
Yeah,
our best. But the point is to really be in touch with with the people that you're contacting, humanize it and say, hey, thanks, this is not for us, or get back to them with feedback. I like this deal, but I'm at X dollar amount. Does this still work? Getting on the phone with them and explaining to them where you're at. Those are $2, Shoe Dog, and the multifamily investors who dominate.
well, that's just wonderful, Daniel. Thank you so much. The most important thing I would never want to forget in these podcasts, how do people get a hold of you that want to work with you?
Sure. I'll give you my email, and LinkedIn is a great way. On LinkedIn, you can look me up, Daniel Lichtman, Director of Acquisitions at Lightwater Capital. And my email is daniel@lightwatercapital.com.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you again so much for being on the podcast, Daniel.
Appreciate it. Have a great day. Thank you.